welcome to the Beer Healer shed, I suppose, tonight, except we're upstairs at my house, so trying the first of these, what I'm going to call Broadband Beers, where we're just going to sit down with brewers, and tonight I've got Will Tatchell from Dieman Brewing. Happy to have him along. Thanks for coming.
No, mate, thanks for making me the test pilot.
This could go anywhere or nowhere, who knows. But tonight we've both got a beer that we're going to share with each other, and we'll have a bit of a chat while we drink these beers and see where it takes us. Mine, if you let me go first, I've got the 4 Pines Kellador Coffee Porter. I do love a dark roasty beer, and as I said in one of my reviews this week, it's bloody freezing down here right now, so I'm happy to be drinking a porter in this weather. What do you got, Will?
I had a good selection, actually. I went to the bottle shop the other day, but came back with the Nomad and Dogfish Head Cross Palate Nation. Nice 8% amber ale, so...
Sam Calagione, one of my heroes in brewing. I do like what he stands for. Let's crack these. How's yours looking in the glass there? What are you drinking? Oh, a bit of a crafted beer can glass?
Yeah, except the crafted logo's rubbed off at the amount that's gone in the dishwasher.
They need to send you some more.
Well, that's probably a good sign that it's been used that much. They're wonderful glasses, actually. Everyone out there
do like them.
Get onto the crafted beer glasses.
As endorsed by Will Tatchell from Dieman Brewing.
Yeah.
What else has been going on in the brewery lately? Like I've seen you sort of getting the stuff ready for the estate ale and all that sort of stuff. And
what have we been up to? We've
Motor Mouth.
Actually had yeah, well, it's in tank at the moment, and it's sitting there. And I went to package it this afternoon into kegs, but didn't do it because I will do a limited run into bottles, but we've got no labels or anything, so we can't sell it. So
yeah,
there might be a little bit heading down to Green Shed Brewing.
I'll tell you what,
a carton that slips off the back or something. But we will do a little bit for tasters more than anything.
Yeah.
So, but at this stage, it's further away than what you'd like.
You've been in Brisbane recently for the craft beer conference. What was your biggest takeaway from hanging out with all those guys for a few days?
I know for me, on a personal basis, was probably just the networking. I mean, we're all, the way craft beer is going within country, we're all that busy trying to maintain quality and consistency and volume that it's difficult to get everyone together in the same room for a period of time. So to go up there for, I was up there 5-6 days, and if I wasn't sleeping, I was drinking. So it's, an incredibly valuable process going up doing that. The other thing I did take away from it was, who was it? Andrew, forget his surname, from Deschutes Brewing.
Oh, yeah.
He really hammered home the point of the new brewers coming into the industry need to uphold the quality aspect of beers.
Yep.
They really need to. They can't undo all the hard work that predecessors have done.
Yep.
They've got an obligation to maintain quality and step it up. Otherwise, it'll be the Achilles heel of the industry.
Yeah, I
and
know.
no one wants to see that.
No, absolutely. And I know you're massive on quality. I think we've talked about it a number of times, and I totally agree with you. And I love the fact that people jump into beer brewing and with all their enthusiasm, and then just think that all of a sudden I can put some grains and some water together and throw a few hops out, and I've made a great beer. But I know from my personal experience in the green shed, it's bloody hard, and keeping that quality and the consistency going is a really difficult thing. But I agree, it's one of those things you get a bad beer from someone who doesn't uphold quality to that same level, and I think that taints your beer drinking experience in general. It's not just that one brewery. You may never go back to that brewery, but next time you might think, oh, geez, I had that bad craft beer last time. Is this going to be like it?
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's the issue we face as an industry, is that all craft beer sort of gets lumped into the one mentality with a majority of consumers. So one poor craft beer can reflect incredibly poorly on the entire industry, even if it is just a select pocket of bad beer, or it might be a bad batch rather than a bad beer or a bad brewery, or a brewery producing poor beers. So it's something that, and that's why we sit down here now. It's about education and telling people that a sour beer is meant to taste like that, and there's a difference between a well constructed and well balanced sour beer compared to something that's just completely wild and just atrocious in flavour.
I think sometimes, this is my personal opinion, that the new startups get so excited to get a beer out there, but then also there's that financial pressure to start making money, and some of them may have just sort of gone into this, by the skin of their pants or whatever, and so there's that pressure of, I've got to get this beer out. Oh, it's not quite what I like, but I've got to get it out there because I've got to make my couple of $100 or whatever back on that keg, so I can keep going. And that's a really dangerous thing. And I know with you, it took you a long time to establish yourself, and that patience is not everybody can afford that, but I think it's paid off for you in the long run.
It's one of our biggest focuses is that the biggest thing that we've got in our arsenal is the ability to dump a batch of beer. So if it's not up to standard, if it's not there, we just pull the trigger and we'll open the valve and it goes down the drain. Now we'll go through every remedial step that we possibly can to try and get that up to spec. But if it's not there, the best thing that we can do is pour it down the drain and not release it. Likewise, the other biggest thing that I tell guys coming into the industry is that you can do is say no. Like, you don't have to say yes to everyone. To maintain your integrity, maintain your standards and stuff. If a publican is trying to shoot you down on price, don't take it. Just say no. Look, thanks very much. I don't need to sell that keg that badly, and hold on to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the thing where the whole financial thing gets in the way. That they're just you've got to go into this with your eyes open.
It's a big balancing act.
Yeah,
that's what it is, and I think that's where home brewers that come into the commercial scene don't perhaps think about that aspect of it as much as what they should. So in actual fact, the brewing of the beer is the easy part, and it's the fun part, and it's the bit that we all love doing. The hard part is then selling it, and then making it again and making it work financially. So it's for me, I wish I'd done more of a business commerce degree than sort of a brewing degree or a science degree, because right now that'd benefit me far greater than sort of the brewing component.
So I guess it's a bit of a mistake that young people make when they're coming into brewing, or new brewers. What do you think's the biggest mistake you've ever made in your brewing career?
Ooh, never been asked that question.
I told you I'd be hard hitting.
Biggest, I might hang up now. I don't make mistakes, mate.
Fair enough. I'm going to give you one. Remember that time I came up to your brewery and you had to ditch the batch of hedgerow because a little fruit fly got under the door seal?
That's an isolated batch.
That's attention to detail, mate. You should have sealed it off.
Yeah, well, it is now. But that happened once, and we learned from it, and now it won't happen again.
Correct.
So that's not a mistake. That's a very steep learning curve.
Speaking of branding, all that sort of stuff, I noticed this week on Instagram you put out a white background with some new wording around being local and I think authentic and that sort of thing. Is that a bit of a shift, bit of a change for you?
We are just going through a slight little. I wouldn't call it a rebrand. It's more of just a bit of an exercise on re-establishing ourselves more than anything. Sort of both for our own benefit and for the consumers and for the market and things. So we'll start to wheel out a little bit more of that sort of stuff.
Yep.
With regards to things like tap decals and other bits and pieces.
Are you going for that education slant, or we're authentic and hand brewed type slant?
We're just being honest with who we are. I think, Lukey. I think it's that's the biggest thing is when we're not about bullshitting people. So if we do make a mistake in the brewery, we throw it up on Instagram. We put it on Twitter. Like this is what's happened. This is why it happened. We'll try and not let it happen again. Or this is why we've made this beer, or this is why we'll never do one of these, or whatever it might be. I think it's just being honest and showing a bit of integrity, because people value that. In my perception, I value that. Everything I do.
Yep.
That's what I really value, and I think that holds true to our brand and us. So I think that's probably why we're doing it.